Hello and welcome to what is technically the Week 5 Gold Division recap for the Yukon Nintendo Club Draft League. Technically, since one of the only players I didn't cover was myself, I thought I'd try something a little different this week and cover one of my own games, which I usually don't do. And my goal was more to kind of just go over kind of the team building process, how I usually do that. Yeah, and just kind of explaining some of my choices. Maybe how things when you're drafting go right or go wrong, and just kind of how battles play out, how you have to think on the fly. But you should also have very solid prep with something in mind for everything. I'm just going to wing this. I don't really have the sheet on hand because I'm lazy and I don't want to mess around with the recording software I have. So I'm just going to kind of explain the reasons behind. I think I can remember Aidan Lee's team well enough to kind of describe the choices I made. So my team for this season and this league is a little silly, right? It's all pink blobs, but I think it's a pretty decent team regardless. It's very silly, right? Kind of meant to challenge myself, but also it's a good cohesive team with a lot of features that make it kind of salvageable sometimes. Cough, cough, not against strong electric types. Cough, cough, circuitry. Cough, cough, getting swept by Toxtricity in week 1. Ron's Toxtricity and Ken's circuitry in week 2. Cough, cough. But anyway, it's a fantastic team otherwise. So first up, we have Slowbro Mega, Turtleneck. He was one of the key members of the team. You can see max defense on there. The reason I did that is because Dracovish is Aiden's main offensive threat, and obviously the bane of Dracovish is like a very defensive, physically defensive water type, which usually you want a water immunity, but because Slowbro has Mega Slowbro has like a 230 defense stat, it's kind of fine with just max defense. Just pour it in there, and it can take crunches from Dracovish. How strong it takes the Rens, but it takes crunches of 3 at KO against this thing. Even strong jaw boosted banded crunch is a 3 at KO against this thing. So it's really fucking bulky. It can't be critted, and it's just really good. The max defense also helps out a lot against Scissor. One of Aiden's other big scary Pokemon, and with the even super effective U-turns, he can take him pretty well. Doesn't like the momentum, but he can heal it back with Slack Off, right? Scald gave him a good option against Scissor, can burn it. Psychic gave him a good attack versus Dracovish, so he doesn't have to wait forever to take damage to it. Deal damage to it, and I think just Water and Psychic had a good coverage on his whole team. Like, it was a good neutral coverage. Slago gives recovery, and Toxic helps wear away things like Dracovish, wear away things like Liepard, Seismitoad, whatever may come in and try to just go, maybe take abuse Mega Slowbro's passiveness a little bit. Next up, we have Beware. You can notice I went to kind of physical walls here. Beware doesn't have any defensive Vs, but it's another physical wall, right? Because the rest of my team is much more frail physically than Slowbro, so it's like I kind of wanted to focus on the physical walls because Aidan Lee's main offensive threats, Scissor, Dracovish, Mega Beedrill, are physical, so I need them covered. And since Mega Beedrill can kind of overpower Slowbro, I mean, it lives a U-turn, but with adaptability, it hates taking all that damage. Beware punishes Mega Beedrill because it resists fighting, it resists Bug with Fighting type. It has Rocky Helmet and Fluffy, so it doesn't take as much damage. Because Fluffy boosted defense so much, I could give it full attack, which was nice. So just some kind of Drain Punch and Body Slam, kind of like with Slowbro, right? Good neutral coverage against the whole team. And then Storage Dance I really need. That's mainly for Scissor, so I can stop Scissor if Scissor decides to Storage Dance. I have like a really bulky roost set. I can Storage Dance myself and just take it out with Drain Punches. And then I have Rest. Really nice move to just recover some HP on a bulky Pokemon, bulky team like this. Up next, I had Zippin Rishi, the Mew. I guess I didn't say Bewear's name. It's Ethot. I don't remember why. It's Ethot, whatever. Next up, we have Mew, Zippin Rishi. This is kind of a bait set, I'll be honest. Usually, these are sets you can kind of do in draft where it's like the idea is to deceive the opponent. People are used to Mew being kind of utility, or maybe like a kind of an general offensive set. Which I have run both before, but this is a little different. It's Scarf Mew, which is really something you never usually see because Mew's not that strong on its own. It's not like Victini with 100 attack. It's not that much for me because the moves it gets. Well, because it's pure Psychic, and the strongest Psychic move it gets is like Psychic, and that's not a very strong move. But anyway, strongest stat move, I should say, unless you do like expanding force stuff. Anyway, the point is, this is meant to catch things off guard, mainly Mega Beedrill, right, which I figured Aidan might lead with. Get it nice, outspeed it with Scarf, Adamant Nature, just kill it with one of the Psychic Fangs. U-turn gives me good momentum if I need it. I also have Leaf Blade as kind of a bait option. Fire's just good coverage for Psychic Fangs to go with Psychics, that's why Fire Bloods is on there. Leaf Blade is kind of a bait because I thought another lead could do with Seismitoad, so like I'll bring out Leaf Blade, just maybe take out his lead in one hit, unless it's Rindo, which probably was, but the point is at least threaten his lead to switch out after getting hit with one Leaf Blade. played in Surviving with Rindo or whatever, which I thought was pretty nice. Yeah, it's Mew, which is kind of a bait set, can kind of check things in the late game, though, can check Scarf Dracovic, which is another big threat, can check Beedrill throughout the game, because I didn't have anything faster than Beedrill or Scarf Dracovic, so Mew fills those roles, which I like. Clefable's very interesting. It's a very standard Clefable set, right? Stealth Rock, Moonblast, Fire Blast, Soft Boiled, almost self-explanatory, lays down the hazard to Stealth Rock, kind of just gets me in the hazard war. Magic Guard's good for just switching in and out a bunch. Soft Boiled for recovery. Moonblast is good. Fairy Fire coverage is excellent, not really walled by much. I don't think Aidan really has anything to wall that, because these things that resist Fairy are like Beedrill and Scissor, which hate Fire Blast. What I did here is very interesting, kind of uncommon for Clefable, is Focus Sash. It's a pretty decent Focus Sash user, even though it's almost never run with it because it's so bulky anyway. Because it has Magic Guard, so it's not like hazard stop me, as long as I can get full health back with Soft Boiled, so I can really consistently have my Focus Sash available. And because he had so many things that threatened to OKO, or to take out Clefable, like maybe a strong Bullet Punch from Scissor, or like a Dracovish Vicious Ren Banded, or a Poison Jab from Mega Beedrill, I figured Sash could cover all those, and with its coverage, I can one-shot basically all those Pokemon back, except for like Akaberry for Scissor, which wasn't unlikely, but like if it's chipped or something, I can take that trade. Anyway, it's just if it's going to defog or U-turn, like it punishes it. It just lets me be bold and stay in against those Pokemon, right, with Clefable, which I really like, and punish a U-turn from Scissor or Beedrill if they're thinking, okay, Clefable's going to switch here. Sort of like the Sash set idea. Next up, we have Kill Joe Biden, the Chansey. Everything is ironic. Minecraft. Minecraft. It's in Minecraft. I noticed I brought the wrong ability on here, which is funny. I don't think that mattered in the battle, but you should have Natural Cure on your Chansey, right? Oh wait, no, it wasn't the wrong ability. I remember. I have this my combination of moves I thought was important enough where I just gave it Healer. Some Pokemon, for some reason, are still for. Oh no, it's not because some Pokemon can only have their hidden abilities from Virtual Console, I believe, because I want to teleport. And the reason I want to teleport here is because it's a negative priority pivoting move. Lets Chansey go out second, so that's just like, if your opponent's U-turning or if your opponent's switching, your switch will come after them always, which is really nice. Because you kind of win the momentum more in that way. Soft Boiled to heal myself, so I to get some sort of damage, and Heal Bell maybe to wake up Beware if somebody gets burned or poisoned. Like Slowbro getting poisoned is a real game changer, which I didn't want. So I did that max defense just because its defense is still shit, and its special defense will be good enough for anything. This could beat Rotom if it's not Trick, which I like. Rotom Mow is one of the few special offensive threats. Rotom Mow and Noivern. Noivern that just gets beaten by this. Rotom can only really trick it to mess with it. Sort of like this set here. It's just a simple pivot chance. You don't need to explain much more, I don't think. Finally, we had Audino, who I brought. I was just thinking more like utility. Like, I didn't really have a slot I liked here. I ended up setting Audino, not even because it's bulk, because I didn't really need any more. Because of it, I really liked its coverage here, because I didn't really have a Pokemon with more coverage aside from Mew. The rest are kind of like defensive. As you see, they have like 2 attacks at most. I liked Audino here because for some reason its coverage pool options. I mean, obviously it's not surprising with like Mew, but like Audino somehow are really good against Aidan. Because you had even with special attack, quiet nature, lower speed, not attack. Knockoff just a good annoying move, hits a lot, removes items. That wasn't really a coverage thing. But yeah, just a decent move to have just to get rid of items. But then I had Flamethrower, which hits Mega Beedrill, hits Scissor really hard. I have Dazzling Gleam, which hits Liepard and Noivern really hard, which I liked. And then Grass Knot, which hit... Flamethrower also goes for Rotom Mow. And then Grass Knot, which hits Seismitoad really hard, which is one of the things that could sit on otherwise. And I just really liked the idea for a set. Aidan, and Audino's really bulky and Regenerator, right? So this thing can just kind of take hits, and even with leftovers and Regenerator regain health naturally with that recovery move. It can kind of beat or deal a lot of damage to the things Aidan Lee had on his team, I thought. I think I may be forgetting some, but those are some of the things he had on his team that Audino was good against with his coverage. A really good set for Audino, I thought. So this is my team. This is kind of my logic. Just kind of different roles you can see where it's like Slowbro's the physical tank, Chansey the special tank. Beaver's kind of like a tank, takes hits, deals big damage certainly. Mew's like my fast attacker, kind of like my maybe endgame sweeper, but more like just like offensive pivot too, where it's like just coming out with fast, softer moves, but definitely outspeeding the opponent. Audino, and again, another tank, like takes hits, deals damage. And then Clefables, I don't really know what to call this. It's definitely like a utility, but it has all that special attack too, so it's kind of like tanky utility, where it's mostly about like Stealth Rock, Soft Boiled, stalling, but it can also, with the Sash, take a hit and deal back pretty hard damage with its special attack. Fire Blast to kill Scissor, or like Moon Blast to kill Dracovish. That was the logic behind my team. That was the pace I have. Now let's see how it worked out in the actual battle and what twists and turns I came along to. And here we are with the real Gold Division Week 5 Yukon Nintendo Club recap of Aidan Lee versus myself, where I will be, I guess I should switch the sides, right, since I'm narrating for myself, where I'll be narrating some of my decisions and set process as well as the general happenings of the game. let's get right into it. Kind of a team I mostly expected from Aidan, right? A lot of his... I mean, it's hard to tell people to do it for the lower tiers. Maybe they didn't really expect Liepard or Hitmontop particularly. They're both very good Pokemon. Like Beedrill, Dracovish, Scizor, Seismitoad. I was pretty sure those four would come, and they did come. So I feel like I'm glad my predictive abilities worked out there. But Hitmontop and Liepard, things I wasn't considering as much, and we'll see how they do in the battle and how they affect things. So the battle gets right off to a start. I send out Mew, I believe, trying to do my tricky kind of ideas with what I would do with a Scarf and how I could mess with people. But he leads Liepard, literally the worst thing against Mew, right? Because Prankster will just ignore my Scarf. Dark hit moves are annoying to take with Mew, so yeah, just great lead from Aidan. I go out Dino, which I was almost considering as a backup lead for Mew and clearly should have gone. But yeah, I go to it because I think it's good against Liepard with its Dazzling Gleam move. Sadly, I don't know if I was kind of worried about Sash Liepard or like just Aidan switching in general and trying to get value out of that. But I go for Knockoff here, which doesn't get a lot of damage on Liepard. Good for breaking the Sash, but as we see from the Lumberry, it was not Sash at all. But thankfully, it's not the worst situation. Even with Tox, I have leftovers from Generators, so I can get some of the health back. The taunt, Aidan doesn't know I don't care about because I don't have any utility moves in this thing, so I'm kind of liking that. But he knocks off my leftovers, a little unfortunate. But you see the Dazzling Gleam about to come out here. Does really good damage with that Quiet Nature, but sadly just not enough. I've done as really a powerhouse, right, as far as Liepard is, so I'm really disappointed by that. And my Tox damage is going down. Not really sure what to do here. I think I go for a switch on a Dino here, right, kind of worried. No, okay, so Aidan switches Liepard here, probably just thinking the Tox damage will take care of things, and he's not wrong about that. I go for Dazzling Gleam, and that play works out quite nicely for Aidan because he gets all the extra Toxic damage, gets to keep his Liepard, and takes basically no damage on his Seismitoad. This is where I could have gone Grass Knot, but I was just too worried this thing might take me out with like a strong Earthquake somehow, which to be fair is a little unreasonable since Seismitoad's almost always more utility, not really that offensively focused, and tends to go for Rocks in the first turn, and indeed it does. Which is too bad for me because I could have gone for a Dino Grass Knot, but at least I get a Dino at much better health because with 37 out regens up to like 60, 70 something, and I'm okay with that. The Fable does pretty good against Seismitoad, I figured, because yeah, even the Sludge Bomb, which I was kind of worried about, doesn't do that much damage, and even if it gets poison, which Aidan might not know, I don't take any poison damage because of Magic Guard. Maybe he's thinking I'm unaware. He doesn't know yet. Yeah, so I'm just kind of like, okay, maybe I'll leave, maybe I'll stay, maybe we can do a Moonblast, Sludge Bomb War, but I definitely want to softball back up to get the Sash that I showed off. Just don't want to, I don't see any reason to lose that Sash. I heal back up again. I think this gets a little stally, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So yeah, Aidan's just going for Sludge Bomb over and over again. He's probably trying to fairly get a poison or a crit. I'd imagine more of a poison just to fish out my ability. But that also kind of benefits me for Magic Guard in the sense that I can't get paralyzed anymore. Which is nice. So yeah, I get back to full. I don't know if I switch here, if I start entering into an attack war. Okay, so he goes for Sludge Bomb again. I think this is where we start fighting. Yep, I go for Moonblast, which I figure is nice, especially since the special attack drop, which I luckily get first turn, really reduces the damage Sludge Bomb does even more. He's already covering one Sludge Bombs, right? He only has 10 or 9 left. Yeah, so I get poisoned. He finds out that it does nothing. I think this is where Aidan leads kind of like, alright, well, fuck this then. Or maybe I say, I really forget which one of us says fuck this first. Okay, so Aidan says fuck this. He brings up the Scissor. I go for the Softball, I think, to restore my Sash. And I'm like, okay, bring it on. This is what I brought Sash. I don't think I need Sash to live a Bullet Punch anyway, but I'm like, fuck it, I have Fire Blast with max special attack. I'm going to fucking hit you. And I go for it, but he brings back in Seismitoad wisely. Maybe he's counting the fire. Maybe he's counting a Scissor switch in. I don't know what he would have been expecting as a switch in. Maybe Beware, who Seismitoad's okay against, I guess. But yeah, I get the burn, which is nice for me. Very nice. Can't undersell it just because it stops Seismitoad from recovering back up with leftovers. Though to be fair, it's a special anyway, so it's not the hugest deal in the world. It's just kind of saving me some time here. But realistically speaking, it's a stall war. I already win because of my recovery and my ability to lower special attack being an actual additional effect compared to his poison, which doesn't do anything. So yep, I'm healing back to full again, and he's just staying neutral too because the burn. I'm kind of thinking, alright, I'm just going to get myself to full health. If I kill this thing with Moonblast, that's fine. I can get my full health later. Oh wait, no, I'm not thinking that, sorry. I go on Dino here, a little overzealous, but just wanted to get the kill with it. Sludge Bomb crits, which is really annoying, because now I think I think maybe once again I was being too cautious with Dino. I think I switch it out here, get the regen. I think I should have stayed in with Grass, and I think it's been clear at this point that I don't think even a Skull would kill me, because that Sludge Bomb crit did 25, so I'm going to live. I go back to Clefable, get critted again. The crits are getting annoying. To be fair, they're not hugely influential, but they're just kind of like stalling my ability to transition out of this Clefable Seismitoad stall state. And to be fair, I don't think Aidan has really a smooth plan for it either, which is why he's just sticking with this kind of like, okay, just kill my Seismitoad, then let me bring in one of my hard hitters like Beedrill or Dracovish, which is fair. That's why I keep speeding it up. So, yeah, Clefable's just going for the soft-boiled, my Clefable. I'm just trying to get my health back to full, get the Focus Sash. Seismitoad just, Aidan's just like, fucking kill me. Like, I don't fucking care. Or maybe expecting a switch. I think I attempt to switch again eventually because I'm just like, I'm sick of the status quo. I have my Clefable at full health. What more do I need out of this? I think killing the Seismic with Clefable is a bad situation because I'm going to not have my Sash, right? We see another crit come out from the Seismic Toad. Really annoying. I really can't get out of that situation well here. Go for the Psychic Fangs, get a nice crit. I don't think it mattered. Oh wait, no, I don't get a crit. Sorry, just killed. Which is nice. I have to switch right away though, right? Because whether Aidan knows or not, I'm Scarfed and I can't hit that Mew. And I also just don't want to get prankstered, so like whatever. You get these sims out the knockoff, which takes out Audino. I can't undersell. I have to slow. I gotta slow the game back down. Sorry. How bad a switch in Audino was there, because I mean it's still valuable in the game. I still regen it. That wasn't a sack to be, because that was me being very stupid in the battle and not realizing that. I was thinking, oh, I want to keep my Rocky Helmet on Beware, right? Because Dracovish and Scissor are so threatening. I really want to keep my Rocky Helmet to do a 6 damage to them when they attack me with Beware. But what I forgot was that if Lipard uses knockoff on Beware as it's doing here, then I'll start playing the game again. If Lipard uses knockoff on Beware as it does here, as you can see, Lipard dies and I don't lose the Rocky Helmet. So it's not switching to Beware. There was a total waste. To be fair, he's going to Dark Pulse first, then go for knockoff if I switch to Beware right away. But he still probably would have done it, I think, not knowing that I had Rocky Helmet. And so that was a big mistake for me, losing a Dino like that for no reason. Hitmontop comes in, not a bad answer for Beware, but I know because I'm fluffy that I can take at least one hit from this thing. I have Rocky Helmet, so I'm not too scared. But he brings out Bulk, which is one of the worst things he could have seen. If close combat kills me here, I'm honestly in a bit of trouble. I'm in a bit of trouble just for losing Beware. I could kill this with Slowbro without even trying. But losing Beware would be bad. I live with 1 health, which is honestly pretty lucky. I forgot how close that was. I don't know what the roll is, but that may have been another piece of luck of this match that could have mattered. I get a nice fat Drain Punch, though. Heal all the health off. Not heal all the health off. I heal some health off from it. And Hitmontop goes down in 1 hit. Beware is honestly too weak to be very good at this point. But at least it still has that Rocky Helmet, which will get some free damage on whatever he brings out next. Usually Dracovish come out. I think I'm just going to let Beware go down, but I forget if I try to go for Honor or Glory here. Nope, I let Beware go down, which is, to be fair, I think that's the right play I made. It's very conservative, but I don't need to be playing for differential, and I kind of have a bit of an advantage already. So I go down, my Beware goes down, Dracovish out, very threatening, especially with a Band, right? Since Mew's not really going to check it that well. Because a Band will still kill even if Mew's faster. I mean, I guess Scarf would. Anyway, that's besides the point. Slowbro comes in. Slowbro's a very nice answer for Dracovish. We see Scissor come in, which, to be fair, I predicted. And since Dracovish isn't really a threat to me once locked into Vicious Rend, I just went right for the Scald, kind of predicting the switch, which works out well for me because I get the burn. But I will be fair. I mean, I did read the Scald. Here's where I get a little overzealous, though. I don't slack off here because I'm like, okay, you know what? This Scissor's probably going to Swords Dance. I can't be too passive. If it starts Swords Dancing, I could be in trouble, even though it's burned, which I think was me being too scared. And it brings to the Buginium Z, which I didn't even think about, which is really the worst case scenario in this turn of me not slack-offing, which is nice. I still take out the Scissor here, but now I'm at 50%, which means I think a U-turn from Beedrill can kill me. I don't think a Crunch from Dracovish he kills me even if it's banded here, but a U-turn from Beedrill will certainly kill me here, which is a big problem. Thankfully, I've still got some things I can whip out in the back that can take it. I think I just let Slowro go down to Graceful here, despite it being my Dracovish answer. Beedrill comes out. Mega Evolves, and what move do we see from it? We see a big fat X Scissor, which will take me out very safely with Adaptability. Like I said, Mega Slowbro wasn't really a good answer for Mega Beedrill, which is why I had the Beware, but Beware is gone. That's very pressing. Thankfully, I still have Mew on my side, faster than Beedrill. If it wasn't for Mew, I might be some real trouble here. Even the Sash Clefable on its own isn't enough to save me, and Chansey may not be able to take it. I mean, Chansey can take a hit, but yeah, it's not going to kill it back, because only a size like does. So Psychic Fangs comes out, takes out Mega Beedrill very nicely. Aiden's last one is Dracovish, which is in a bad position for him, because now he knows the Mew is Scarf, and he knows Dracovish has enough natural bulk, which is what makes Dracovish so annoying, where I can just eat this Scarf Psychic Fangs from Mew like it's nothing. And I think Chansey will go down no problem. I'm pretty sure I did the calc and even full defense Chansey, because I think this is banded. It's been implied. I don't think I ever got confirmation on that, but pretty sure it's banded. I did, as an Aiden posted his stats. I'm just saying I forgot. But let's assume it's banded here, that I just lose, if not for my Sash Clefable, because Chansey just can't take that hit. To bring out Clefable, max it. Aiden may be feeling good, thinking he's about to win. You do still like playoffs. Clef kills me. Okay, so maybe he didn't think he was going to win. But I really don't think anything besides Sash Clef could have won it for me here, so I'm really glad that bit of prep came in clutch. And we Moonblasted. So that was a really cool example, I think, that game, of something like some niche prep really paying off. I find in games, especially in games where you feel like you're at a disadvantage, which I guess I really kind of technically was here because of, not in like the traditional sense, but just because my team's kind of silly. You do have to kind of resort to, I think, more creative sets, which is really the fun part of the advantage draft gives you, where you can bank on doing things your opponent doesn't expect expect, which kind of makes your team better in that way. I don't think it's always the way to go. Obviously, just go safe, strong sets if you can, because that's usually a reliable way to win. But when you have maybe a worse team than your opponent, or your team just matches up very poorly against your opponent's strongest Pokemon, that's always a really good strategy, and I'm glad it paid off here. A lot of things didn't pay off, right? Audino, I think, was still a really good set here, but I just played it very poorly. Didn't go for that grass on side with it when I should have. Sacked it for no reason. And I think Aidan played pretty decently. I think part of how I did well is just subverting his expectations with things like the Sash on Clefable, like a more defensive Bewear that could take a close combat. That Beaver that may have been more of a hair. I didn't calc it. The Psychic Fangs Sharp Mew may have caught him off guard too, though. That point in the game, he was already out of options. But I would say it kind of did, because he went, for example... no, I guess, yeah, who knows if he thought coming or not, because I don't want to say for Aidan. I mean, we talked a little bit about the game after, but I don't know exactly what he was thinking. But yeah, I think my prep worked out pretty well. Chansey was kind of entirely useless. To be fair, I thought he'd bring a special attacker, but he really didn't. And to be fair, maybe I should have seen that coming, because like he knows he's how physically frail my team is. Like, okay, I'm just gonna bring the physical squad. I have so many strong physical attackers. But I'm glad I brought Chansey as insurance, because maybe Rotom or Noivern could have gotten a lot done otherwise. So Dino maybe could have handled that. I think what I should have done, I think Chansey was probably the prep mistake. I could have gone, and I still have so many things with heal bells, within the cleric stuff or the pivot stuff wasn't that needed. I do have Mew with U-turn anyway. I think I should have gone a more specially defensive Pokemon that could kind of do more. Maybe like a Miltank, expect to be faster than Dracovish could have been very nice in that slot with a little bit of special bulk, maybe to help with Noivern and Rotom, though I don't think it actually beats those. Maybe with Sap Sipper for Rotom. I don't know. But I think the Chansey was a mistake. Everything else I think worked out pretty well, even if I made some misplays along the way. And that's how draft is sometimes. You kind of gotta learn from the mistakes you make. Try new things and see how it goes. Just have fun, ultimately. So, biased. I'm going to say it was a good game. I don't know. I don't know if RNG was too influential. Aidan Lee, if he wants to make a comment, make an official statement, I'll let him have the last word on that, how good this battle was. But I certainly enjoyed it. I think it was fun, and we both got to reveal some really cool techs. Bulk up, hit him on top, and bugging him Scissor, even if they didn't clinch the game, did him a lot of good, and they were creative brings. So fun game. I hope you kind of enjoyed this kind of breakdown, this kind of team building guide. And yeah, hope you see you guys for playoffs. Hopefully some kind of playoffs content. I usually don't do it. Really going to try sometime this time, because of the streamlining of the content creation, I've made it a lot easier. So yeah, see you guys then. Get hyped for playoffs.